Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Murray Pollock. I'm Managing Editor of International Rental News Magazine, and welcome to the European Rental Week webinar organised by the European Rental Association. I'm delighted to be here. We're at an event it's being hosted by Zeppelin Rental. We're very grateful to them for allowing us to do that. So the format for today, we're going to start with a briefing, an update on the rental market from Martin Seban of KPMG. Following that, we'll have a group discussion with 3 representatives from Europe's rental market. But to start the webinar today, I'm delighted to say we have Arne Severin, who's the Vice President of the ERA and also Chairman of the Managing Board of Zeppelin Rental, to give us a quick introduction. Over to you, Arne.
Thank you, Murray. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Working in Rental for a Sustainable Future webinar. I'm very pleased that this webinar can be streamed from the Zeppelin Rental head office here in Munich. As Murray has mentioned already, this event is part of the European Rental Week. With this, we are celebrating our great equipment rental industry all over Europe and even beyond. We, that are the national rental associations and rental companies, but also other stakeholders. It is our second year of celebrating the European Rental Week, so we are still newcomers in some way. I'm really thankful to the members of the National Association and Promotion Committees for this brilliant idea. Many thanks for taking it forward and bringing it to life. The European Rental Week is an annual event dedicated to the promotion of rental across Europe, but also in other countries around the world. Our goals are to coordinate promotional activities from rental companies and rental associations to improve the attractiveness of the industry, to raise awareness of the rental concept, and to promote rental as a sustainable, cost-efficient and resource-efficient solution. The theme of the European Rental Week this year is Working in Rental for a Sustainable Future. This year's edition will focus on 3 foundational pillars: people, rental solutions, and sustainability. Let's start with people. Our industry is nothing without the dedication, innovation, and efficiency of our professionals. The European Rental Week celebrates these individuals by promoting skills development, diversity, and employee well-being. The event highlights the crucial role of attracting and retaining talent for the sector's success and sustainability. Moreover, rental solutions offer unparalleled flexibility, efficiency, and sustainability across various sectors. The European Rental Week showcases the latest advancements in rental equipment and technologies. We want to demonstrate our ability to meet evolving customer needs while enhancing operational efficiency and adhering to circular economy principles. Last, but definitely not least, sustainability remains a top priority. The event emphasizes the industry's efforts to reduce carbon footprints, promote energy efficiency, and minimize waste. By integrating eco-friendly equipment and renewable energy solutions, we as an industry can deliver significant value to customers and communities. European Rental Week, for instance, showcases how the rental sector addresses global challenges like climate change and resource depletion. As you will hear just before the panel discussion, ERA will publish the 2024 ERA Market Report very soon. This is a comprehensive study conducted by KPMG, analyzing the situation of the equipment rental industry in 17 countries. This study aims to provide valuable insights for rental companies, but also for other stakeholders. Martin Seban from KPMG will present key numbers that illustrate the size and growth of the rental industry in Europe. And he will give some insights into the 2024 ERA Market Report. The ERA Market Report has been the reference source of intelligence in the European equipment rental market since 2008 and is the only European-wide industry benchmark. Before I give the floor, I would like to thank our panelists and our moderator for participating in this event. Also, everybody involved in the organization has done a great job. Thank you so much. I wish you all an insightful webinar and a very successful European Rental Week.
Thank you very much, Arne Severin. So let's move on to our next speaker. That's Martin Saban, who's Director of Mid-Market Strategy at KPMG in France. Martin is very experienced talking about rental statistics in Europe, and he's going to give us an update on the rental market in the region, including some forecasts, I think. So over to you, Martin.
Good morning, my name is Martin Saban. I'm director at KPMG Strategy, and my objective today is to walk you through a brief overview of the equipment rental industry. The first item at the agenda is basically the scope of work, what we are talking about when we are talking about the equipment rental industry. Then we'll spend some time on the business drivers for the rental industry. And then finally, we'll spend some time on the forecast and estimate growths that we've assessed for the ERA. So moving on to the first part. So what we say about the rental industry is that you have mainly two types of companies, the generalist one, mainly focusing on compact equipment, and the multi-specialist and specialist equipment that have some kind of a dedicated focus on a solution set, a product family, or an end market or an application. And all together, they are making up the equipment rental industry. In terms of product family, we covered a large range of product families. We've grouped them and organized them under those 6 main categories. Obviously, there's lots of detail behind it. And if you want to get a good sense of each of those categories, you can refer to the carbon guidance reporting, which is provided by the ERA when we are listing the equipment up to a further level. A final point on the end markets. So you have here display the 2 main end markets, the legacy one, construction, which used to be the major driver for the activity in the rental business, but also the non-construction driver, which is more and more gaining traction and offering rental opportunities for the business. Moving on to the driver of the business, actually. It's not exhaustive, but we wanted to highlight 2 of the most important factors for the growth of the business. First of all, the construction, as we said, that the legacy segment. And here it's important to mention that below the surface of the construction as a whole, you have different dynamics that need to be taken into consideration. Different dynamic, different rental intensity, whether we are talking about a non-residential project or an infrastructure project, or whether we are talking about new business, new building, or maintenance and operation. That's some kind of a complexity that needs to be understood. We also wanted to flag below the surface the mega drivers that are fueling the business and developing and pushing the development of the construction sector. And we named 2 of them. First of all, the urbanization as a whole, but also the energy efficiency, which is also giving some additional traction on the construction sector. So construction on the one hand, and rental penetration on the other hand. On the rental penetration, what we wanted to stress is, first of all, the question about the change in behavior, with people slowly shifting, moving away from ownership to usership, but also the positive traction of new services, new solutions, new requests such as servicification or decarbonization, which is increasing the price of the equipment and the cost of the equipment, and pushing rental customers to ask their rental provider to bear the risk of those new equipment on their behalf. And finally, the last point is about the development of new market segment, and that's what we discussed, for instance, at the segments such as party and events or energy efficiency. Once again, new segment to be targeted by the rental industry. So moving on to the size of the market and the total value of the market. What we are saying with the ERA is that all in all, the market is of roughly 31 billion euro in 2024. And the key message, key narrative behind that is that we are slowly getting away from the COVID-19 rebound, and we have in 2024 a slowdown of the activity. The slowdown will be not similar across all regions, and we wanted to do some kind of a very quick deep dive on each. So quite simply, in the Nordics, the slowdown was marked and quite important, especially in Sweden, Finland, Norway. Case is a bit different in Denmark, but for all those countries, you have a real slowdown of the activity, mainly hampered by the drop in the residential segment. In Central Europe and in the UK, you have a slowdown, a general slowdown of the activity, whether you're talking about the UK, France, Germany, Belgium, Austria. Most of them will show a positive traction in 2024. That being said, a real slowdown compared to previous year, and a slowdown that have already started back in 2023, usually by mid-year. You always have exception, and the Netherlands or Ireland are showing some positive traction, but it's not the case for all, and those one will be the exception in Europe, along with the Southern Europe countries, mainly Portugal, Spain, and Italy, which are already showing a positive traction in 2024, which are continuing the traction and the rebound from 2022 and 23, mainly benefiting from the push of the service sector, the development of the tourism, and already the first in the EU funds that are going to be in motion and fuel the business for 2024 already. Moving on to the final slide, what we are seeing is a market that has been clearly slowing down in 2024. As you can see, an overall growth of the market below 1%. That being said, we are expecting a much more positive traction starting next year, with growth estimate for the whole region of above close to 3% and above 3% respectively in 2025 and 26. We here the renewed development of the construction sector and especially of the residential sector. But on top of that, the impact of the EU funds that are going to be spent in many of the European countries, with a direct impact of infrastructure, which is one of the most rental intensive segments within Europe. Hope this was useful, and I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Martin. Some interesting figures there on the rental market. So let's carry on with the next section of the webinar. We've got a discussion panel with 3 representatives from the rental industry. At the far end, we have Jürgen Kuspert, who's the Managing Director of BBI. BBI is the main trade association for rental and dealers in Germany.
Thank you.
Then we have Marcus Heidak, who's a Sustainability Manager at Zeppelin Rental. Hello,
Hi.
Marcus. And Rabia Ozdemir, who's the Communications Manager from ERA. Maybe we can start just by each of you explaining a little of your background, when you joined industry and what you've been doing. Start with you, Rabia.
Yeah, of course, and thank you for the introduction. So I'm Rabia, I'm the Communication Manager of European Rental Association. Actually, I can say that I'm kind of a newcomer, but the passionate one, I can say. So I'm in my 4th month in European Rental Association, and I'm dealing with the communication work and also the external things that we are doing. And European Rental Week is one of the key things that I'm working with. Thank you.
And your background is in public affairs?
Well, I worked for the several sectors that I can say. I've mainly worked on corporate communications and public affairs department, but I'm passionate for working for associations, so I'm doing kind of a volunteer work as well.
Great. Marcus?
Yeah, I joined Zeppelin Rental now 2.5 years ago. But I started as a geologist, so I started with, let's say, earth moving, and then I did my PhD in environmental science, so earth saving then. And yeah, I always had a passion for big construction machines and mining equipment and so on. And yeah, that's one way lead to the other, and now I'm here.
Yeah, well, you're in the right job.
Yeah.
And Jürgen, you're 35 years?
Yes. After my studies, I joined BBI in 1989, and in different, in a variety of functions there. And since 2009, I have the honor to be the managing director of BBI. You see, nothing else learned.
Things have changed a lot in 35 years.
Yes, it is.
And the association is much larger now than it was 35 years ago.
It's larger, yes.
Yeah, good. So the theme of the webinar is working in rental for a sustainable future. It's part of the European Rental Week. Maybe, Rabia, it makes sense to start with you just to explain the aims and the goals of the European Rental Week.
Yeah, I can start with it. As you know, that ERA is dealing with European Rental Week mainly, but our power is coming from our members, of course. And the key thing is that what we are trying to aim with European Rental Week is highlighting the importance of our industry, showing how it is kind of a super fancy environment that we have in that industry, and it's kind of a dynamic, and I can say that super innovative. And like another thing that I want to say, we are trying to improve the attractiveness of our industry, to creating some visibilities and also showing our efforts on the global agenda that we have, like sustainability, rental solutions, and people that we have today. Actually.
Yeah, good. And if companies, I know the rental week has started this week. If companies and individuals want to get involved, how do they do that?
Well, first I can say that they need to follow us because we are just regularly updating our website and also our social channels. And also we are giving all of the information related to European Rental Week in there. And the second thing is that for the companies and also our members and also non-members can also contribute to European Rental Week. It's kind of open. I can say that it's kind of a springboard, and also we show the importance that we have in the European Rental Association. The thing is that you can organize your own events related to the pillars that we are promoting this year. And also you can be our brand ambassadors. You can join our social media channels. We are organizing digital campaigns and activities in it. So you can, and also all of the environment that we have can join all of the activities that we are doing mainly.
And the hashtag to use is?
We have several hashtags that can be visible in the European Rental Week's website. We have the communication toolkit in it, but most used one is the Rental Week 2024.
Rental Week 2024.
And all of them are, if you can tag us, we will be there to see your efforts and also reshare all of them.
And the official website is europeanrentalweek.eu.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rabia. So let's move on. We've got three kind of themes to discuss: rental solutions, sustainability, and people. And we're going to start with rental solutions and the impact of digitalization on the rental business. Marcus, can I ask you how important digitalization has been in modernizing the rental sector?
Yes, of course. But let's say digital is, from my point of view, sustainability, as you mentioned before, my main topic. So digitalization and sustainability, for me, they cannot be separated. They are linked together. But digitalization is not only linked to sustainability; it's also linked to making the clients' satisfaction higher, to make projects easier. So digitalization has so many connection points to our business. So it's not only about sustainability. If I would say sustainability only, then of course we have to make projects more transparent. We have to be our emissions have to be transparent. A lot of data we need for reporting, of course. But if you look at the clients and also regarding our employees, digitalization can help a lot to make the usage of machines easier, also the availability of machines easier and more transparent. So there are so many points sustainability can definitely support the industry and help in many aspects, in my opinion.
And I guess it's internal processes as well, digitalization of internal processes as well as the way that customers interact with the rental company.
Yeah, definitely. If we look at, let's say, booking platforms, that's very simple to get one click and get your machine. That's the easiest way. Or if you look at, we are in a sharing economy, so it makes sense to also have sharing app for construction machinery. What we have, for example, at Zeppelin Rental. The Rental Plus app, for example.
That's popular with customers. Yeah,
it makes it a lot easier because. If you like, we can go a bit deeper into our Rental Plus app. By the way, we won the Sustainability Award from the European Rental Association for that.
I remember.
Yeah, so you have a machine pool on a big construction site, and all the different companies who need a machine, they don't have to get them individually. They know they can use the app, and they can directly rent it for an hour, a week, a day, yeah, what they need actually.
Yeah.
And they only pay the usage time. And the main advantage is we don't have the transport movements, because all the machines are already based there. So because normally a lot of companies, they don't interact and talk to each other, so they don't know that maybe they need the same machine, but on a different time scale. That means a lot of machinery is moved back and forth, and that's not necessary. And with this app, for example, we can remove up to 70% of transport movement.
Yeah, actually, so it has a big impact on sustainability and carbon emissions.
Yes, yeah.
Jürgen, BBI, you're talking to customers all the time about digitalization and updating their processes. What have you been doing, and what can you say that your members have been doing?
We as an association started a few years ago to inform the companies about the advantages of digitization. And we had some papers and we have webinars. And we saw that the term of digitization, it's a wide term, everything understands something else. And then we started a series of best practice sessions online with members, where members showed the colleagues what they are doing, what they do in their companies to digitalize their processes. And it's lots of things and a wide range of things. Some of them Mr. Heidak mentioned in before. And it's great. You can see all these videos of these best practice sessions on our website, bbionline.org. And it's fine, we go on with this series. And two things we found. The main things about digitizations are to make processes easier for the customers, to make the life of the customers better, to do their job better. And the second thing is our employees should have more time to talk with their customers. And that's the main goals of digitizations. Everything else is, yes, processes.
Yeah, I suppose it's more difficult for small and medium-sized rental companies to go through this process. They don't always have the resources, IT resources.
My experience shows that they are very interested in these things. They're trying small solutions, not the big solution for everything. They try to start with one solution and then the next step, and they're very creative.
Yeah. Okay, Rabia, the ERA has focused on digital processes for rental companies, giving guidance. What kind of things have they done, and what is in the pipeline, if you like?
The thing is that I can say that the ERA's role is about, I can say, like informative we are having, because the thing is that, as you mentioned, that we have dedicated committees who are working like a kind of a different pillars that we have in our industry. And the one is about the digitalization. We have like our technical committee, we have our future committee as well. And we published our report on digitalization, the impact of digitalization in rental industry. And also it is available in our website as well.
Free.
And for free, you can download. You can download in any time that they want. And also if any questions that they can always ask us. And the main thing is, once we are doing this report, we see the potential benefits, how to digitalize your company. And also I'm totally agree with Jürgen, because the thing is that it is kind of a chain that we can say, because it is not only focused on one pillar, one thing. This is like changing something small, like asset management digitalization or kind of inventory digitalization is one point. But if we can talk about in general, it is important because the world is transforming using with the new technologies. We are following and we try to create some guidance for our members and also mainly the equipment rental industry.
Yeah. I want to, before we start talking more detail about sustainability and the role that rental plays in sustainability, obviously a very important role. Marcus, I want to just ask about the scope of rental solutions that are available now. And you know, 30 years ago, it was very focused on construction equipment, but it's a completely different world of equipment rental solutions now. Can you give us an insight into the kind of things that Zeppelin is doing, which point the way to the future of rental?
Yes, of course, Maria. But it's also related to sustainability a bit, because if we focus on the main topics which are coming now, is like we have the zero emission equipment, we have low emission equipment. It's going more into resource efficiency, energy efficiency, and reduce the resource consumption. So, and if you look at that, that means, of course, you get more modern machinery, modern engine technologies, stage 5 engines. You get newer gensets. You get zero emission equipment and different variations. There's still a limitation, of course. As soon as you have, let's say, more than 7 tons, it's still difficult to get a big excavator electrified. But still, there's a lot of things going on currently on the market. And
yeah, the energy transition is a challenge for rental companies. They're waiting for the technology to come, and there are some bridge technologies. So when it comes to hydrogen or new types of fuels, what are you looking at there?
For the transition, currently HVO is the most interesting, because we can use our diesel equipment, we can use the existing infrastructure, fueling infrastructure, without doing any changes. So this is a huge advantage, and we have up to 90% less of CO2 emissions on the total line. But I'm not sure if this will stay for many years, I don't know, but definitely right now it's a perfect solution to make this transition. And in the end, you don't know if it's fully electric, is it hydrogen? I think it will be a mixture of alternative fuels, hydrogen, and electric or battery storage.
And I understand at Zeppelin Rental, you had a kind of open day with contractors or customers in Germany, showing them some of the new solutions. So it's about demonstrating that these solutions work and that they're available now, I guess.
Yeah, we had our zero emission construction site. So what was the main idea? Of course, we had a lot of different zero emission equipment machines, but clients and customers always said, okay, what shall I do with an excavator after 4 hours? How do I charge it? And when do I need to charge it? How long is it working? There was a lot of skepticism about that. And in our company, we have the whole solution. So starting from the energy production, delivering the energy to the construction site, installing the charging infrastructure, battery storage devices, so we can show them a whole story. And that's what we did a couple of months ago. It was a great event, because the customer came and they can really touch and try it out and say, okay, the power is the same like diesel, the results are the same, and it's not that complicated. So to use, of course, but you need a whole offer. Not only a single solution, you need a whole solution. And that's what we showed that we are capable to provide.
Yeah. Jürgen, how do you see rental services developing in Germany? You're talking to customers all the time. You can see things that they're offering that are different, or a different way to provide rental services. What are the main trends that you see in Germany?
It's a diversification of the rental parks, I think. It's the attempt from the rental companies to convince customers that there is sustainable machinery. Not so successful, I fear I have to say. In the moment, it's what Dr. Heidak said. It's a problem, a very good skepticism in the moment, but we try to bring it to the customer, to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. And then we see, yes, we talked about digitization, and that's what is changing in the moment. But we have a very fragmented structure in our customership. And that did not change until now. And that's what the industry is like it is.
That's holding back.
That's yes. No, I don't think it's holding back, but the structure is like the structure is, and we have to live with it. But we have lots of small and medium-sized customer companies in the construction industry, 70,000 in Germany.
Yeah.
74,000 to be exact. And as much rental companies you have, not 70,000, but you have lots of them, and it's not so easy to say the rental industry is changing so much.
Yeah.
We have the market leaders, they showing the rest of the crowd what is to do and where the way is going on.
Yeah. Of course, it's the customer behavior that's important. Rental companies,
we do what the customer wants.
Customers have to want those.
Yes.
And that's also a function of the regulations in place. So do you see in major cities, you see in some countries in Europe, in Norway, for example, and the Netherlands, you see more focus on zero emission sites and zero emission zones. Are you seeing that, or even carbon pricing? Are you seeing that at all in Germany?
Not so much, no, not at all. We had one example in Berlin.
I would not agree.
We can hear you.
We see first steps, I would.
Yeah.
Marcus?
Let's say if we look at our market, Zeppelin rental market, for example, with Denmark and Sweden, for example, we have a totally different. The mindset there is they don't talk anymore about sustainability. It's like the new normal.
Yeah.
So it's a challenging market. Sustainability is well established there. If you look at Austria and Germany, sustainability, of course, is getting more and more attention. And this is coming from, if you look at the EU regulations. So if somebody would ask me, do we need to act fast? I would say yes, because I know the CSRD, the Corporate Sustainable Corporate Social Responsibility Directive. Yeah, correct. CSRD, yeah, sorry, is coming. We have the EU taxonomy on the horizon. There's coming a lot of pressure. And we see that the tender criteria, for example, or the project criteria, they are shifting. But I agree, still we have this transition gray zone. Yep. Like I see a lot of pressure and risk. Other sales guys would say, okay, no, clients are not asking right now, price is still too high, or pressure is not high enough. I don't know. So currently this is this gray area where we are in. And I always say we have to be prepared. We have to have solutions, because the demand will come. Yeah. Definitely, because the EU has so many different parameters, and the pressure will rise. And especially if and then we are still talking about digitalization regarding KPIs you need for reporting, and there are so many things coming to our clients, and that's also a big opportunity, I would say, for rental companies, because we can provide a lot of beneficial services for our clients to help them manage to get through this jungle of regulations and different criteria. And so,
Jürgen, you wanted to say?
Yes, I'm completely with him. We see the pressure. We see the pressure. We see the pressure. We see it will be necessary. Everything. Yeah. And we as an association, we have the job to translate it to that what the small and medium-sized companies need. Yeah. And we try to do it. We try to have e-books with KPIs starting it. We had videos, how to prepare for reporting. Yeah. And we have the job, and it's fine, and it's very, very necessary and very important to convince the small and medium-sized companies that it's no alternative to it. Yeah. It will be, and it is in some bigger companies, and it will be in the smaller companies. And it's what we can do is try to convince the companies, to tell them what will come, and to how to handle it, especially.
Support them as well.
Let's take a step back. And Rabbi, I want to come to you about the tools that ERA is offering on sustainability. But before that, Marcus, can you just outline, sustainability is a kind of core principle of the rental business. Can you just remind us all why rental is so it's so aligned to sustainable goals.
Yeah. So we are talking about the sharing economy, and the sharing economy is a first building block of a functioning circular economy. And if we look at the main goal of a circular economy is that we want to break the link between resource consumption and economic growth. So we have to break that link. And if we look at the rental perspective, what are we doing? We are providing a lot of different kind of assets, but we are maximizing the utility time. We have a high availability. We optimize the life cycle of machines as well. And in the end, we are cutting the necessity of clients to buy something new because they can rent it, actually. So that means we are saving resources on that side. But we are still supporting economic growth. So companies they don't have the need to buy something to get their job done. They can come to the rental industry and get what they need. So we can break that link between economic growth and resource consumption. And that's a very important role, in my opinion, for the rental industry, what we have there.
Yeah, and I suppose rental companies have an opportunity in the energy transition. They can partner with customers to help them manage that transition as well.
Yes, yeah, of course, because if we look at rental companies have the possibility to introduce new technologies also to the market, and taking the risk from clients to make big investments in new technologies, we can provide them with innovations, they can test it, and we can establish them on the market as well. So this is also an important role for innovation, in my opinion.
Yeah. Rabia, European Rental Association is focused on sustainability. Can you outline some of the things you're doing?
Yeah, I can maybe start with the big framework that we have. Sustainability is kind of a big word that we have, but the important thing is, as a European Rental Association, we are covering the small, medium enterprises, and also at the same time working with the big corporates as well. And sustainability differs in the definition between them, because we need to assist the ones who are just super new in the sustainability environment, who are experienced with the tools that we are developing. And I can say that we have a dedicated committee working on sustainability. Happy to have Marcus in there as well. And the thing that in our committee, we are developing some guidance, one of the most important one that Marcus can keep going, but the carbon reporting guidance is one thing. And also the TCO calculator is another thing.
TCO, total cost of ownership calculator.
Yeah. And also we are creating handbooks to understand the concept, and if they have another deeper questions once they have, so we are here to assist them to understand how they can develop their own sustainability journey. But once we look at the big thing is that equipment rental industry is the concept and also mindset created from sharing. So it is born to be in the part of the circular economy, I can say that. So but for the ERW's efforts, I want to just give the ball to Marcus to just talk about it, the efforts that they are already spending. I'm here to represent ERA, but our members are also giving their efforts on that committee, actually.
Yeah. Maybe one step back is sustainability is here to stay in Europe, so it will not go away. And the ERA recognized that quite early. So they started with a lot of different kind of programs to help their members to understand what is coming. So if we look on the website from ERA, for example, you have full access to all the EU regulations. If you are willing to read everything, it's quite boring sometimes. It takes some time, but still you have full access to that. We have the CO2 calculator, equipment calculator, where you can calculate one single item or a whole project. This is also helping small to medium-sized companies, definitely. You have the sustainability KPI framework. There will be an update coming shortly regarding the CSRD. So what kind of KPIs do you need to report, or do you need to make transparent? So this is really a good advice for a lot of companies where to start. What do you need to digitalize and get transparent? And but currently the carbon reporting guidance, which is brand new, this is really a huge step, because this is a framework and a methodology which says how to calculate scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions, and especially scope 3 emissions. And to make it easier, we also have a benchmark of different emissions. So I can really recommend go to the website and download this guidance, and also the benchmarking of different equipment emissions, because this has never been done before. That's a huge step. And the main advantage what we have on the market is that we can compare apples and apples. Because in the end, what will happen? People will talk about scope 3 and they just see a number. But the methodology behind
scope 3 being the use of equipment by customers.
Yes, the usage and also the CO2 emissions started before you get the machine.
Yeah.
So the whole cycle you can calculate. So this guidance will definitely help clients to have a solid methodology, and if we all use it, it will get the framework for calculating, and then we can compare within our industry. We can compare each other, and then we can also start working to reduce, because we have the same methodology. So for me, this is a very important tool.
And the customers can compare rental companies as well using this.
Yes, and they can also use it for their own calculations.
Marcus, you're a sustainability manager at a very large rental company. Not every rental company has a dedicated sustainability manager. What advice would you give to small or maybe medium-sized companies? What steps do you take if you're serious about sustainability in your own organization? What do you do? Maybe both of you can answer.
Yeah, a couple of months ago we had a webinar on BBI about that, and for me, that's a really good question, because it's super important that also small companies understand that they have to play the game of sustainability. Because if you look at the pressure will come from bank investors, it will go into the project, and then down to subcontractor, and some way down there will be the small rental company, and they are confronted with all these new regulations and transparency and what. And if they don't adapt, they are maybe out. So for me, that's a big risk and not positive. So I would recommend first understand that this is super necessary to adapt and play the game, and start by thinking, what do my customers need from me? What kind of KPIs are important? What do I need maybe to report? Where do I need to get transparency? And there I would start, not starting with putting photovoltaic on your roof, or start with the client perspective and start to digitalize your processes. And because then in the end, you can still be in the game, because sometime there will a company will come and say, please give me your emissions for the whole year, or for the certain project, or for the 5 machines I have rented from you. And if you are not able to do that, they will go somewhere else in the end, because it has to be easy.
That's the reasons why we have to work together. And that's the reasons why we are thankful to the bigger companies that they share their information with the smaller ones. And I recommend when the companies read all the information on the ERA website, there's very lots of information, they should come to our website and read this in easy and German.
We are working on the translations as well for documentation. So, because as you know, that once we are talking about like this small, medium size, maybe they want to look at their own language. So we are dealing with this issue as well. But all of the resources are available on English now. So that we will.
It's not an issue anymore.
Exactly.
It's not for the medium-sized and for the dealers and rental companies here, it's the language is important.
Exactly.
And they have no division with sustainability managers. It has to be easy, and it has to be possible to do it in the daily business. That's the job of our association, to provide information and to provide things that they can do it.
Well, we understood that in the sustainability committee and in the other ERA committees as well. Because in the end, we have to provide this information in the language of the dedicated reader.
Yeah, and also maybe I can add something like that. We are working, as you know, that they're like the big documentations needed big times to spend to read and also understand, check the requirements and something else. We are working on the kind of an infographics, visuals to easily step by step what companies can do and also how they use these guidance. So yeah, the easy way is to follow us and also understand the scope and if they have any questions. So yeah, we'll be here for them.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So let's move on from...
But they have to invest some time for reading.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to engage with the...
Yeah, you cannot avoid that. So
yeah. Okay. Let's move on to people. That's one of the three kind of pillars of the European Rental Week, retaining and recruiting staff. So maybe Rabia, you can talk a little about the ERA's vision for people in the rental business.
I can say that as you know, that our industry is focused on people. So people is super important for us because of they come naturally coming from our industry. And the thing is that, as you mentioned, that in European Rental Week, we have a dedicated pillar focused on people. And in I can say that for the promotion part, I can start with. So the thing is that we started a social media challenge. We try to understand how newcomers can enjoy our industry, how we can attract them. We ask them from their experiences to show us how they feel and enjoy once they are doing their job. So the other part is we are looking for the experienced one who are spending years and years in our industry, again. So the thing is that why they are staying in that industry, what is the point and also the spirit is coming from. So we are looking for it in the European Rental Week's purposes.
Yep.
And the second thing is that I can mention that we published a report, as you already know, that the attraction and retention of people in rental. So we get in touch with 60 practices, the best practices that we have. And also we made kind of a deep research on it, and we just look at the 10 big recommendations. So all available in our website, free to download it, free to check it.
Yeah.
There are some basic infographics and points that you can see.
Yeah.
And what I can say that there is a kind of a timeline that we made, and you can see starting with the onboarding process till the exit interview. So we just made kind of how can I say, a horizontal approach on it, and we looked up how you can develop your HR strategies, how you can use the communication stuff to take people, and also people can stay in this industry. What is needed? And also I can say that our industry is open for all genders. So it is not kind of a one thing and also one gender thing that we can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically something like that.
And that report, the attraction and retention of people in rental, that's available from the website.
Exactly. Yeah, you can find the executive summary as well if you don't have much time. So you can just read it, because one visual can represent the 10 recommendations.
Yeah.
One visual for the 60 best practices.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Jürgen, you were saying earlier that you've changed the composition of your own board. You've got more younger people, more gender diverse group, and that's had an incredibly positive effect, has it?
It is. New ideas. This mixture of very experienced people on the board and the new ones is very fruitful for us. It makes me work more than ever before, but it's great. I like it. As I told you, it's a reason to be in the industry. We have a fascinating industry with fascinating machinery.
Yes.
But to be honest, I'm really not interested in machinery. It's not what I'm interested in. I love the people here. I have the opportunities, the people, the diversity. It's a very interesting industry. We have a project called Wonderful World of Mobile Working Machinery, and it's a video project, and we will publish it.
So what are you doing at BBI? You're engaging with your members, and they're looking for advice on how they can recruit people?
It's everything about best practices. One of our new members of the board, she had the idea to have a regular online meeting with colleagues, to share the experiences, to attract employees.
Yeah.
It was very successful in my eyes. We met every 5-6 weeks online, 1 hour. In Germany, we call it Stammtisch. I don't know the English word. but everyone had to bring its own beer. And then we talked 1 hour about best practices and how we were successful to find new mechanics, new rental men. And I think it was very good.
Yeah. Marcus, you do like machines, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
And from Zeppelin Rentals' perspective, the people question, it's an important one. You need different kinds of people. In the old days, it was salespeople and drivers and maintenance engineers. Now it's data scientists. It's a completely different world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the rental industry offers so many opportunities for different kind of skills, definitely. But one thing I would say definitely has to be the same in the mindset is the solution-driven approach. That's what I see with my colleagues. We see a challenge and we want to get a solution, and this is the solution-driven approach. For me, makes it a lot of fun to work in the rental industry, and it's never getting boring because you have always different kind of projects. It's not only like you produce one single item and you have so many different you have access to different kind of machineries, techniques, technologies, innovations, different kind of project. Also, if you love project management, it's the perfect place to be as in the rental industry, because the variation of projects makes it so interesting. So. Yeah. In my opinion, there are so many good opportunities to start in the rental industry.
Yeah.
Rabia, you agree?
Yeah, I agree, and I can maybe put something more than that. But what is my passion coming from like a kind of a younger perspective? Yeah. The thing is that I understand that what I'm looking for, and also what younger generations are looking for, is that the dynamic and also kind of a self-care and also work-life balance environment. That is exactly what we have in our industry. And like we are working for new technologies, we are working for our environment because we have a kind of a sustainability in our main focus. So it can give us the opportunity to like feel better with working in rental industry, I can say.
Yeah.
But you have to be very careful. If you're once in the industry, you will never leave.
Yeah.
That's been our experience, hasn't it? Yes. So thank you for that. It's really fascinating and interesting and useful. I suppose I want to end on a positive note. Each of you, can you give me your feelings for the future? You're optimistic for the rental business, Jürgen?
I'm very optimistic for the business and for our industry. We have so much needs to be constructed in the moment. We have so much new technologies, and we are a very innovative and a great industry. And there's no reason to be pessimistic. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic because in the rental industry, we will be part of the solution and not be part of the problem. And this is a huge chance.
Yeah, very well put. Rabia?
Well, as you see that I'm 100% optimistic for our industry, and I can say that I'm super passionate about it to assist the rental companies and also our members. Yeah. And open roles for younger generation, and we will see how we can just manage our industry.
Great. Look, thank you all very much, Jürgen Kuspert, Marcus Heidak, Rabia Ozdemir. Thank you very much. We appreciate your participation. And thanks very much for watching. And remember, if you're doing something with the European Rental Week, if you're involved in any way, then use the hashtag RentalWeek2024. Once again, thank you to Zeppelin Rental for hosting the event today. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Goodbye.